Want to start off by saying yesterday, well, y'all know my middle son had flu and COVID, and he tested negative, and so we got that out of the way. So that was good. He made it through. He still has some coughing. And then yesterday, my wife gets a call. My daughter got hurt playing volleyball, and the nurse told my wife they'll monitor it for about an hour. And after they did, it swelled more. My daughter's like begging, I want to stay in school. So the nurse recommended that my daughter needed a note about not being able to write and stuff, and about her situation, you know, with her finger. So I had to take her to an urgent care. Had my middle son, my autistic older son, and my daughter, and so she wanted her 16-year-old brother to go in there because my pain pump again wasn't feeling like it was doing like it's supposed to with keeping the pain under control. And so they said they had to have an adult in there, which I figured. And I'm not in tears yet, but I'm still trying to tolerate it the best of my ability. And so I'm like, they're going to either have to get a wheelchair out if they got one, or your brother's going to have to go in. So ended up sending her brother in, and they did an X-ray because they do have an X-ray on scene, but their X-rays are red all the way in Oklahoma or something. So they had to send it, digitally like email or something. I have no clue. And they told her had a hairline fracture, and they put a splint on it or whatever, and they got to refer to an ortho if I'm correct. My wife's waiting on them to get that referral in so she could get her daughter in and get that note. Only note that urgent care could do was like, yeah, she got a hairline fracture, but she has to have a note from another doctor, is what they told her at the urgent care, to show that she's not going to be able to write a few days or however, because it's her dominant hand, her right. She's right hand. She writes with the right hand. I wrote with my right hand. My dad was left-handed. He wrote with his left hand, and my autistic son, he even though tried to teach him to write with his right hand, he ultimately he chose to be left-handed. It was a big thing in my household with my mom. She'd get so freaking mad if I wrote with my left hand. She'd hit me with books and stuff. So, and a lot more other things. Everything except for I never been the inappropriate abuse. It's the other abuses as a child. I've had to tell that story many a times, but I never liked it. So I'm just glad we never did. I never followed in those footsteps. In any way, thank you, Lord. So last night, my older son, his tooth broke. He's not in pain or anything. It's like a domino effect or something. My wife says she's gonna have to put them in bubble wrap. It's like dominoes. Like one has something, then the other one, and then the other one. And all this going on, man. Um, I just appreciate anyone who's helped with donating and things like that. I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping it's March something. I'm supposed to see if I've got my primary care to do what my pain management doctor says was hard to do. So trying again on a wheelchair, but I only got Medicare. And so they had that. I send them my income and stuff, and they'll decide or let me know if they're going to help with the hardship, whatever, because they never gave me no what I would have to put up front or anything. And we've been struggling bad after those two landlords within a 3 month period. And see, there was a third one before we moved to the one that we got pushed out of, basically to get her daughter moved in, that was on Henson Ridge Road in Liberty, because if somebody says I never existed there yet, I got a driver's license redacted to show at least the address and my first name. It takes money to sue the landlord. And so on top of all that, and then that one where, like I said, we're basically pushed out to get the Casey County Sheriff's Department involved so my wife could get the rest of our stuff out at that situation. And then we don't get EBT. We haven't got it in at least 2 years. When we had it in Florida, it was like $90. And then if some of y'all haven't watched my prior videos, where we were pretty much almost out on the streets. And that one that was for 1,200, my wife went to update our information during this time. This is the $1,200 a month where the electric bill totaled at least a little over $1,000, and we were only able to get help. You only get help one time with like LIHEAP or something. So I'm explaining. We were having. I mean, you only get one food box, and where we've had to borrow from like these apps and stuff, and lost out on so many freaking. We didn't even get the other half of our deposit, even though he offered. There was hoes in that trailer before we even moved in there, and I made sure I pointed that out. I remember when we were first moved to that one where she wanted to move her daughter in, even though we paid her rent. And the gas, like last night, you know, my daughter didn't expect to get her finger hurt, and my middle son was so upset because he done missed out on training, and it was like at 3:32 or something. He sent there's a group thing they got for the junior firefighters and stuff for this training. He's like, can anybody give me a ride? And nobody responded. This makes 2 or 3 times this has happened. I got a video where I was like turning and everything in pain, trying to drive my son to his one training, and I recorded it when my pain pump bolus. I finally felt, relief after about 2 times of trying. And there's a lot of times when it hits, it literally, when your body's been in like a lot of pain, you're doing involuntary, like twisting back and forth, doing all this other stuff, and you get these involuntary like stretching, and it's ridiculous. And so that dude, even though nothing was done to that, and then tried to beg us to stay because we told him, we're going to have to move. Oh, all over the rent. Never gave a dollar amount. Never reimbursed us our deposit. And they've, anybody we've tried to fight back against to get our deposit in situations like that, it's like, well, it costs more to go to court and do all that other stuff than what it is the deposit. So just trying to keep gas up and keep your kids clothed, and stuff. And then borrowing, having to borrow from apps and stuff, and even check or whatever they call them, like check cashing places or whatever, where you borrow and then you go back the next month, reborrow, go back the next month, reborrow. And the person that Killa done that for me, I told him, I said, man, this is a situation, dude. I said, we got to eat and we need gas and then co-pays and then fighting for this to get this wheelchair, being that I really need it again. I fought off and on to not have to try to use one, but my pain management isn't top notch right now. But I want to make sure my kids are fed and my kids got clothes, and they shouldn't be punished because of my disability to be active in, you know, he likes to do firefighter training, and my daughter's in chorus, and they shouldn't have to miss out on all that stuff. My daughter is like on 11th grade reading level. My wife thinks they'll push her up a grade or so. She's so smart. I think I'm doing the best I can as a dad. I never thought I'd have to do YouTube like this. That's the only thing that I got, because how many other people are going through the same thing? Families are struggling, and they're talking about how they're doing something with EBT, like cutting costs or something. Well, yeah, they're cutting costs to people that need it. Here, you only get one food box. You don't get to get another food box. So with my oldest son, we're waiting to hear back, hopefully on a closer date, but the dental place we called, they said he can come in as a walk-in Monday and see if the doctor will do something with his tooth in. Yeah, I wanted to let y'all know what was going on and tell y'all the situation. Well, I had a quiet moment. I appreciate y'all and thank y'all, and any continued help is greatly appreciated.